students, today we are going to see lesson 8 part D. Discuss about the Indian economy during British rule. Britain had exploited India over a period of 2 centuries of its colonial rule. Colonial means colony rule, isn't it? Colony means India is a colony which has been taken and exploited by the Britishers. On the basis of the form of colonial exploitation, economic historians have divided the whole period into 3 phases. Already we have seen these 3 phases in part C and part B. That is namely the period of merchant capital, the period of industrial capital, the period of finance capital. So we will see in detail in this question. Period of merchant capital. The period of merchant capital was from 1757 to 1813. The only aim of the East India Company was to earn profit by establishing monopoly trade, that is single entrepreneur, that is the Britisher, in the goods of the India and the East Indias. During this period, India had been considered as the best hunting ground for capital by the East Indian Company. That they started stealing all the wealth from India. To develop industrial capitalism is Britain. When Bengal and South India came under political shake of the East India Company in 1750 and 60, the objective of monopoly trade was fulfilled. Above all, the officers of the company were unscrupulous and corrupt. Already I have explained all these things in the previous part, isn't it? Next one, period of industrial capital. The period of industrial capital was from 1813 to 1858. During this period, India had become a market for British textiles. That is, India's raw materials were exported to England at lower price and imported finished textiles commodities to India at a high price. India's traditional handicrafts were thrown out of gear. That means they has been declined. They were abolished from the Indian economy. Third phase, that is period of finance capital. The third phase was the period of finance capital starting from the closing years of the 19th century and continuing till independence. During this period, finance imperialism began to entrench itself through the managing agency firms, export and import firms, that is exchange banks, and some export of capital. So what is happening here? During this period, finance imperialism began to entrench itself through the managing agency firms. So they are starting developing managing agency firms, export and import firms, exchange banks, and some export of capital. Indian handicraft products could not compete with the machine-made products. So the introduction of railways in India increased the domestic market for the British goods. They started bringing the British goods into India and started selling only those goods. Explain the SSI in economic development. SSI means small-scale industries. First we will see about the role of SSI in economic development. First one, provide employment. SSI probably use labor-intensive techniques, isn't it? SSI means small-scale industry which only laborers will work there. Labor-intensive techniques, hence they provide employment opportunities to a large number of people. For example, matchsticks making, matchbox, match crackers, pickle, cottage industries. All the cottage industries can be taken into consideration. Thus, they reduce the unemployment problem to a great extent. Bring balanced regional development. SSI promotes decentralized development of industries as most of the SSI are set up in backward and rural areas. That is villages, isn't it? They remove regional disparities. The regional disparities means all the people work together in cottage industry and so there is a unity there. By industrializing rural and backward areas and bring balanced regional development. Help in mobilization of local resources. SSI help to mobilize and utilize local resources like small savings, entrepreneurial talent, etc. Small savings means they will work in cottage industry, they will save some money for their purpose, and entrepreneurial talent means they have the capacity to own themselves of the entrepreneurs which might otherwise remain idle and unutilized, isn't it? They have to work under some other person. So they will be the owners. The people will work by themselves with their family members and they will be the owners. They pay way for promoting traditional family skills and handicrafts. So what is happening here? The family skill is also coming out and the handicrafts. Pay for optimization of capital. SSI requires less capital per unit of output, isn't it? Cottage industry means the capital amount. The investment will be very low, not much low. According to the production, it will be made. They provide quick return on investment due to shorter gestation period. The payback period is quite short in SSI. So they are making crackers or pickles or plums like the papadams, like all these things, isn't it? So they will get back the money very easily. When they take it to the market, they will sell and get the money very easily. No need to go to a owner and get the money as a salary or wages. So they will get it directly in your selling products. SSI function as a stabilizing force by providing high output capital ratio as well as high employment capital ratio. So this is about the employment ratio, output capital ratio as well as high employment capital ratio. Promote exports. SSI do not require sophisticated machinery. Hence, import the machines from abroad is not necessary. The cottage industries need only the labor intensive, isn't it? So everything is handmade. So there is no need of machinery. Next one, complement large-scale industries. SSI plays a complementary role to large-scale sector and support the large-scale industries also. So SSI serves as ancillaries to large-scale units. So from small-scale units, some it is taken to the large-scale industries, for example. Meet consumer demands. SSI produce wider range of products required by consumers in India. SSI produce wide range of products required by consumers in India. Hence, they serve as an anti-inflationary force by providing goods of daily use. So, SSI produce wide range of products required by consumers in India. Hence, it serves as an anti-inflationary force by providing goods of daily use. Develop entrepreneurship, that is the ownership. SSI helps to develop a class of entrepreneurs in the society. They help the job seekers to become job givers, isn't it? If the owner is, if a family member, the leader is starting a work, job means what he is doing? He will join the family members, he will do the work. So he is giving job opportunities to the family members, job seekers and the job givers. He becomes a job giver. They promote self-employment and spirit of self-reliance in the society. So they will uplift their standard of living. Explain the objectives of nationalization of commercial banks. The main objectives of nationalization was to attain social welfare. The purpose of this bank nationalization is for the social welfare. Sectors such as agriculture, small and village industries were in need of funds for their expansion and further economic development. So they are nationalizing these banks and they are going to give loans for the work, isn't it? For the development of the industry. Nationalization of banks helped to curb private monopolies in order to ensure a smooth supply of credit to socially desirable sections. That is, those who are not having capital amount fund for the development of the production or business. What the banks are going to do? They will give loans for them, isn't it? In India, nearly 70% of population lived in rural areas. Therefore, it was needed to encourage the banking habit among the rural population. Nationalization of banks was required to reduce the regional imbalance. That is, since they are in village, they should not be demonitored, isn't it? They must not be pushed down. So the regional imbalance where the banking facilities were not available, it must be provided by the nationalization of banks. So in villages also they will insist some banks. Before independence, the numbers of banks were certainly inadequate. After nationalization, new banks branches were opened in the both rural and urban areas, in villages and cities also, towns also. Banks created credit facilities, loan facilities mainly to the agriculture sector and its allied activities after nationalization. So they are providing loan facilities for the farmers. Now we will see about the describe the performance of 25 5-year plan in India. This is a very important question. Kindly learn this question thoroughly. First 5-year plan. So the planning was made by Jawaharlal Nehru. Isn't it? Last lesson we saw. First 5-year plan 1951 to 56. It was based on the Harrod-Domer model. Its main focus was on the agricultural development of the country. Second 5-year plan was from 1956 to 61. It was based on the P.C. Mahalanobis model. Its main focus was on the industrial development. So from agriculture they are moving on to the industrial development. Third 5-year plan 1961 to 66. The plan was called Gadgil Yojana also. The main target of this plan to make the economy independent and to reach pre-planned position or take off. Plan holiday 1966 to 69. The main reason behind the plan holiday was the Indo-Pakistan war and failure of third plan So what is happening? During this plan, annual plans were made and equal priority was given in agriculture, its allied sectors and the industrial sector also. That is both industry and agriculture has been planned. Fourth five-year plan, 1969 to 74. There are two main objectives of this plan, that growth with stability and progressive achievement of self-reliance. That is to enrich the people, their standard of living. Fifth five-year plan, 1974 to 79. In this plan, the top priority was given to the agriculture. Next came industry and mines. Mines means what? The natural mineral resources. That lastly, we have seen in the last lesson, what are the mineral resources in the Indian economy. The draft of this plan was prepared and launched by D.P. Dar. This plan was terminated in 1978. Rolling plan. This plan was started in the annual plan for 1978 to 79 and as a continuation of the terminated fifth year plan. So when there is a breakup in the plan, this rolling plan and other plans are bringing into existence, isn't it? The first one is plan holiday. Next, sixth five-year plan, 1980 to 85. The basic objective of this plan was poverty eradication and technological self-reliance. Gary B. Hatto was the motto. So, each plan is having a particular point, isn't it? You learn all these particular points. For what purpose? It was based on the investment yojana. Seventh five-year plan is 1985 to 1990. Objectives of this plan included the establishment of the self-sufficient economy and opportunities for productive employment. Self-sufficient economy means the people must have self-finance and they must have the opportunity for job employments and productive employment. For the first time, due to the pressure from private sector, and the private sector got the priority over public sector. Its growth target was 5.0%, but it achieved only 6%. But it achieved 6%. Annual plans. Next we are coming to the annual plans. Eighth five-year plan could not take place due to volatile political situation at the center. So, two annual programs are formed in 1990 to 91 and 91 to 92. Eighth five-year plan, that is 92 to 97. In this plan, the top priority was given to the development of the human resources, that is employment, education and public health. So, you must learn the objectives of each plan, that is very important. During this plan, new economic policies of India was introduced. This plan was successful and got annual growth rate at 6.8% against the target of 5.6. Ninth five-year plan, 1997 to 2002. The main focus of this plan was growth with justice and equity. That is, justice means the law and order must be maintained, and equity means the equality among the religions, caste, religions, all these things. This plan failed to achieve the growth target 7%, and the Indian economy grew only at the rate of 5.6. So this is 7% is expected, only 5.6 it has been developed. Next we will see about the 10th five-year plan. 2002 to 2007. This plan aimed to double the per capita income of India in the next 10 years. It aimed to reduce the poverty ratio 15 by 2012. 11th five-year plan, 2007 to 2012. Its main theme was faster and more inclusive growth. Its growth rate target was 8.1, but it achieved only 7.9%. 12th five-year plan, that is 2012 to 2017. Its main theme is faster, more inclusive and sustainable growth of the Indian economy. So with this, we stop in this lesson. We will continue the next lesson in the next session. Study well. This is an important question. Learn these questions thoroughly, girls. Students, thank you. God bless you all. Thank you, students. God bless you all.